Look at all this white stuff. So depressing. Will it ever go away?
Oh, I'm sure we'll get at least 3 more before end of May.
Even the poor ducks are confused. They're like, what the heck, where's spring?
This morning, they did that yesterday morning too. They get a path and boy, they stay on it to keep it open.
What is the temperature? Geez, it sure ain't warming up. And that wind is, I thought it wasn't supposed to be as windy today. Bad enough.
The governor is ordering the majority of Wisconsin's 5.8 million residents to close up shop and stay home. Today,
Fine.
Tony Evers decided the
I'll stay home
as the only way to contain the virus.
I guess I'll just have to build another computer then. Something to do. Pickings are starting to get a little slimmer on here though. We'll have to stick with the E-machines. They're, well, I guess what many people consider the bottom of the barrel. These aren't really worth fixing up. I don't know though, but that last one I fixed up, I was kind of impressed of how well it worked. You know, you can't knock these lower end computers down that much. I mean, if they work, they work. Why not, you know? So, I mean, yeah, it ain't nothing like this one, but hey, if it's all you got, you got the time to build it, fix it, or make it work, why the heck not? Let's open her up and see what we got to work with here. Surprisingly, most of this one's pretty much intact. Even got a couple of sticks of memory in it yet. Usually them are always missing. So far the only thing I find missing is the hard drive. I'm sure I can come up with one of those. According to the sticker on the front, it is a Pentium 4. What does it got in it for RAM anyway, just for kicks and giggles? Oh, stick up, see what we got here. What we got for RAM? Oh, 512. Okay, and I'm going to assume the other one's 512, so it's got a total of 1 gig. That's not too shabby. I'm sure we can up that a little bit, maybe get it up to 2 gig. So that's promising. The only thing a little bit disappointing about this motherboard is it does not have an AGP slot, but it does have a couple of PCI slots we can use. These are not PCIe, these are just the standard PCI, but we can still work with that, I think. So I don't even think I have to take it to the garage. It's not, well, there's a little bit of dust in there. Maybe I will take it to the garage and blow some of the dust out. It's not too dusty, but there's a little bit of dust. So let me run this out to the garage, blow the dust out, and I'll be right back. Okay, we have our first little oopsie here. As I was prying the front faceplate off, these can pry off kind of hard. As plastic ages, it gets a little bit brittle. I should have been a little more careful when I pried it off. One of the little clips that holds the power button in, if you can call it a clip, boy, it ain't much there, I'll tell you. Ain't hardly nothing. Even these LED lights ain't held in very securely, so I'm just going to put a little dab of hot glue to hold things back in there. If you do run into that where you find a piece of plastic breaks or something, of course good old super glue works good. Epoxy for plastics. Mix some of that up, glue it back down. The rest of it seems to be okay. I see a little piece broke off on this bottom part here, but I don't think that'll affect it any. I think it'll still pop in and it'll still hold okay. I guess I'll find out when I pop it back in after I put a little hot glue here to secure this stuff back down again. So you'll find that happens. It's 20 years old, so what do you expect? Plastic starts to get brittle as time goes on, especially if they use cheap plastic. Not the prettiest fix, but it's on the inside. You're never going to see it, and it works. So at least this stuff can't fall out now. This is still a little tacky yet, but yeah, just regular hot glue gun. Push it down and snot it down. And again, as always, just our 4 basics: video, keyboard, mouse, and power. That's it. I'm not going to put a hard drive in it. Normally I would only stick 1 stick of RAM in it, but it's got 2 sticks. I'll just leave them in there for now. Hook it up to power, and let's see if anything will happen here. Oh, jeez. That's got a heck of a noisy fan. Hey, look at that. We got a post screen. That's good. And of course it's going to say no operating system found because there's no hard drive in it. Oop, there's one step I forgot to do. Almost forgot about that little guy. That's usually one thing I do first. I already loosened it with a screwdriver. Same as the other one, you just pop that little tab. Out with the old, in with the new. There, gotta have a new BIOS battery. Ooh, only got one left. I'm gonna have to go to the store and get supplies pretty soon. Another thing, it's probably fine, but I'm gonna check it anyway. It's just 4 Phillips screws, and I'm gonna pull that heatsink off and just see how. I'm gonna put some fresh thermal paste on it. You know, after 10 years, that stuff it can dry out, so I want to make sure it's got a nice fresh thermal paste. So I'm gonna pull them 4 screws out and see what it looks like under there. Alrighty, here's another little handy dandy tip. When thermal paste gets kind of dry and stuck like it is, like right now, I'm trying to pull up on that. You don't want to just pull straight up. You'll pull the CPU right out of the socket, and that's hard on them pins. What you want to do is you want to try to break the seal. What I do is I'll gently twist it back and forth, and it's moving. I can feel it moving. Just gently twist as you pull, and hopefully something. Oh, there, let go. Okay. So yeah, you don't just want to jerk up on it. Actually, that don't look half bad. It's a little dry, but it actually looks pretty good yet. Probably could have left that, but you don't know until you open it. So yeah, well, now I'm just curious of what it's got in there for a CPU. Ooh, wow, another surprise. I thought it was a Pentium 4 socket 478, the old style, but no, this is a 775, so this might even have a dual core in it. So it's a little bit newer than what I thought it would be. Let's see what we got for megahertz here. It has, boy, that's hard to read. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's almost got a 3 gigahertz processor in there. That ain't bad. It's only a 533 though. I might look through my, do I have any 775s? I don't know. I might just use the one that's in it. That's not a bad processor. Anything over 2 gigahertz is a pretty good processor for XP, because that's all that's going to go on here. So I probably won't even bother taking that out. I'll probably just leave that in there. So that's pretty cool. Okay. I think you know the other routine. Some of these and some of that. Make it clean, make it pretty. Yeah, I don't know if that's a dual core or not. We'll see. Yeah, she's a little dirty yet. Make it shiny, make it pretty. Oh yeah, we got quite a bit of dirt on there. It's probably going to take 2 Q-tips to clean this off. Basically, if your Q-tip looks like this, keep cleaning until your Q-tip gets, until it starts looking like this. You want it nice, clean, and shiny. So yeah, looks pretty good down in there. They're as good as it's gonna get. So yeah. Again with the Arctic Silver. I got some more of this coming. I ordered some the other day. So I think this, even my stuff, is getting a little bit old. Yeah, no, it ain't too bad. Still got, I say it should be like peanut butter, so I think it's okay yet. Should be okay. And just spread it around evenly, best you can. Don't get too carried away with it. Some say you can even just put a drop in the middle and the heat spreader will spread it out for you, but I like to spread it out myself. Make sure it covers the whole thing good. I've done it that way for years. Whether it's right or wrong, I don't know, it's always worked for me. Use the tip and spread it around. That looks pretty decent. I stay away from the edges a little bit to give it a little leeway, you know, if some does squeeze out, because you don't want it running over and getting into the pins and stuff. But you want enough on there to do something. Let's see, it looks like this went on this way. That looks pretty good. Line up the holes and set her down on there. And this you want to do kind of like when you put a car tire on. You don't want to just, you want to start on, you know, start one screw and then go in the opposite corners. So it goes down evenly. You know, don't snug one screw down tight, and you know, try to kind of go down evenly with them. Like that one, I'll go down a couple turns and then go to the very opposite corner. Go down a couple turns, and like an X. That's what you want to do. Kind of work your way around, always doing opposite corners. There, that one just snugged down. Opposite corner. There we go. Get them till they're just starting to snug. And then you want to go a little bit past snug. You want these tightened down pretty tight. I mean, you don't have to reef them tight, but you know, just so they're good and snug, good and firm. Because if you get too carried away, you could crack the motherboard or strip a screw out, just so they're good and snug. Don't forget to plug your fan back in. This has got a 4-pin. Can only go on one way. I can get my finger down in there. There we go. Okay. Should be. Yeah, all plugged in there. Like I say, this got the 4-pin header instead of 3. Basically the same idea. All 4 screws snugged down nice and tight. Should be good. I'm glad I did that, because like I say, that thermopaste can dry out a little bit. Now we got to find a potential hard drive here. I got a couple candidates here. This does have serial ATA, which is really nice, so I can use a newer style hard drive. Or normally I'd use an SSD, but I'm running short on them. I ordered some more. Whenever I can, I try to avoid using hard drives, but being as this is just something to play around with, it ain't like it's the end of the world if the hard drive does crash. But yeah, anything, I strongly recommend any computer that you has to be reliable, definitely swap these out for an SSD, because yeah, these are like a light bulb or a ticking time bomb. I mean, it's you know, sooner or later they're gonna fail. Every hard drive fails. You know, it's just it's when. It's not if, it's when. So, and as they accumulate miles, they're like a car. The mileage is something's gonna snap, something's gonna break. So, but well, we'll see if one of these will work. Okay, sorry if I'm getting a little fast here. My last video got kind of long. I'm trying to keep this one a little shorter. To install a hard drive, it's just one screw, and this whole tray here slides out. Screw your hard drive in, push your slide your tray back in, and there you go. The hard drive is mounted. Connect your SATA power here, and I gotta find a data cable. Hold on. Okay, I got a couple of SATA data cable here. When you can, the older style SATA cables were just pressed on and held on by friction, and over time they can wear out, and these don't hold very well. So when I try to use the newer style, and the newer style they started putting little clips on them so they don't fall off quite as easily. So when you can, try to get the newer style cables. So yeah, and just snap on here like this. You hear the little click. And on the motherboard, let's see how many we got here. You want to try to plug it into 0 or 1. I can get down here where you can see here. Let me read. Well, it's really hard to. It's even hard for me to see. I don't know if you can see it, but I'll try. Come on, focus. See where it says SATA 0, SATA 1, 2, and then 3. I want to use SATA 0. I mean, you don't have to. It's not a big deal. It's the same as IDE. You can plug it into any one. It'll work, but that's just the default boot order. You want to try to get your hard drive on SATA 0 or 1. So there's SATA 0, so I want to plug it into the lower left-hand corner there. Unfortunately, this motherboard is so old that it doesn't have the extra plastic like the hard drive has around it for that clip to snap into. Like, see, this one here has got a little groove so that clip can snap into. This motherboard does not have that feature, so even though the cable has a clip, so this cable can slide off fairly easy, but ain't much you can do about that. Just plug it in firmly and hopefully it'll stay there. And now we'll start tucking things away here. And then let's see, which one do I want to use for power? Let's see, and there is this, I don't want to, yeah, it's kind of like L-shaped. And which way? Yep, we're going on the right way. I'm going to tuck this extra cable up in here. And I should be able to plug it into power here. There we go. That don't look too bad. I could, some hard drives do, they got both kinds of power. You can use Molex or the newer style. But I didn't want to unwind all this, so I'll use that. Alright, so it should be ready for Windows. Ooh, Windows Professional. Yeah. All ready to go here. And if you don't have a legit copy of Windows, I guess I'll show you how to get one. Okay, if you just go to archive.org or search in your Google search internetarchive.org, and then go in that search and type Windows XP, you're going to get a lot of results. What I look for is I don't know, just pick one and see what they got, see what the reviews say. This one doesn't have See, now this one has poor reviews, so we don't want that one. Let's see what else we got. I mean, just use your best judgment. What's this one say? Let's go to this one. Ah, here we go. Windows XP Service Pack 3, 32-bit. There, we got some stars. Another thing you might run into is, of course, product key. Some are already patched, so you don't need that product key. So I guess I would consider downloading this one and just trying it. It's hit and miss. All you can do is download it, burn it, try it, and hope that it works. And if you do need a product key, there's places you can go on the web and search for universal keys that'll work. Or another thing I like to try. Most of the time these old machines on the back or on the sides or somewhere, sometimes they already got a key stuck to the back of them all ready to go. Like this one, this was a home edition. So obviously you're gonna want to get the home edition. Of course I got Pro here. I wonder, I'm just curious if I could go to, if I could find the, no, I don't want to do that road again. I was going to say, I wonder if I could download restore CDs for this again. The only downside to doing that is when you use restore CDs is you get a lot of extra crap they throw on there, you know. So I think I'm going to install my clean, legit version of Windows XP Pro. I think it'll work better with that version. So, but there's options out there. Download something. Like I say, you could look for, what do we got? Do we got a model number on this thing? Oh, here we go. You could look for a restore CD for this model number right here, eMachine T5010, and you could probably download a legit restore CD for this. But I think I'm going to go this route. You know what? I'm going to have to use that number anyway to find drivers and stuff. So, well, we'll see. I'm going to pop it in there and see what happens. Okay, you know the routine. Start out with this. I set the camera to manual focus because I noticed in previous videos that for some reason when I'm on this monitor it likes to do weird things. So when I'm on the monitor I'm going to try this manual focus, see if it stays a little better. Alrighty. Boy, that CPU fan's like a jet engine when you first turn that on. Alright, let's get into the BIOS. F2. Alrighty, let's see what do we got here. Gig of RAM. Well, they don't give you a whole lot of options. Oh, there we go. Let's see. Let's set the date. Today is April 14th. Oh, same thing. Tab, Adam, tab. (2004), so not quite 20 years, 18 years. Or no, 2020 be 16 years. There we go, 2020. It's already noon. Boy, where's the day going? Having so much fun. Okay, I got the time set correctly. Boot configuration, yeah, let's see. System fan control enable. That all looks good. What else we got going on here? That all looks good. Ah, yes, the hard drive is there, no problem there. And the CD-ROM is there, that's all good. Okay, we don't have a floppy. And we'll just leave that alone. Let's see, what else do we got going on here? Boot order. Here we go. Huh, perfect. Everything else looks good. Yeah. F10 to save and exit. Let's see, let's get the CD in there. Oh yeah? Another one of them, are we? What is it with stuck CD-ROMs lately? Hold on. Okay, if you do get a CD-ROM that sticks, you don't want to hit it too hard, but at the same time as you're pushing eject, just give it a little love tap. Sometimes that's all it takes to get it to go. And if it don't, if you look very carefully, there's a little bitty pinhole right here. If you take a paper clip and bend it open, you can push into that hole, and usually that'll, there we go, come on out, there we go. Usually once you get them unstuck, usually they'll behave themselves after that. This one, it's not going to behave itself. Well, I might have to take this one apart, do some more work on it. But for now, let's just see if it can even read CDs. Am I not hitting that hole? What is the deal going on here? Oh, I did it once before. There we go. There. Come on. Open up. Open up, say ah. Alright, let's see if we can at least read CDs. Yeah, why that's sticking. Sometimes that little belt in there gets wore out and stretched out. Sometimes you gotta change it. There's a little belt. That can go bad after a while. Okay, we'll see if it can at least read CDs, then I'll decide if I want to take it apart and work on it. Okay, where was I? Okay, F10 to save and exit. Yes. Should boot straight to that CD-ROM. If it's working properly. And it is. Good deal. Go to our Acronis True Image. Wipe it clean, have a nice clean hard drive. Alrighty, this program, if you don't have a Seagate or a Maxtor hard drive, you get an error message if you just push Alt T O K. It'll bypass that. It says, if you read it carefully at the beginning as it boots, it'll tell you to do that, to bypass that. Because this Seagate, or this program is intended for Seagate hard drives only. So if you don't have a Seagate hard drive in there, it gets all wonky and weird. But at least they programmed to bypass when they made this. So wipe your disk. Make it clean. I'm guessing about half hour on average. See what it says here. Oh, boy, that's going to take a while to format. Okay. See you in an hour. Okay. Done with that. Oh, and look at that. The CD-ROM decided to work. How nice. Alrighty. There goes that jet engine again. At least it winds down after a bit. Jeez, why does that sound so terrible? Anyway, you know the routine here. We're going to install XP. Boy, that sure is a noisy DVD-ROM. I might have to change that. But, yeah, quick should be enough. Jeez. Well, wait another 40 minutes. Here we go, final boot. Or final reboot. See how many drivers are missing. That hard drive I picked a little noisy. Come on. I didn't hear no sound, so definitely probably going to need sound drivers. Yep, we need audio, the network, and video drivers. Well, I'll have to get on the internet and see what I can find there. Okay. Well, how about that? Went to www.emachines.com, typed in the model number, and they do have support for this. So, yeah, we have the audio driver, chipset, LAN, and the VGA. We got all the drivers we need right here. So this one's somewhat new enough yet. Support is pretty good and easy. So let me download these drivers and go from there. Alright, being this is XP, things get a little easier. We can actually use a USB thumb drive. Shouldn't have no problem recognizing it, I wouldn't think. There we go. Took a little while, but it finally eventually did it. There we go. Oh, let's see. Let's do the chipset first. What's this? Or is this a BIOS upgrade? Yeah, we'll try it anyway. Okay, chipset drivers are done. I'm going to do the audio next. Alright, restarting. In theory, we should have sound. Why do you keep annoying me? Oh! We heard some clicks. I don't know if it's just me, but it just seems like most computers are... Oh, we got sound. Okay, and it wants us to restart. It just seems like sound is always the hardest driver to... There, okay, we do got sound. For some reason sound is like one of the harder drivers to get to install properly. I don't know what it is, but it just seems like it, especially with Windows 98. But XP is usually pretty good about drivers. Once they switched from FAT32 to the NTFS format, things really got stable. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot to put the camera back on manual focus. But we should be alright. Oh yeah, I hear all kinds of clicks, so definitely got sound. Sound should be good. Alrighty. Oh man, look at all this fancy stuff. Stereo speakers. Yep. Okay, next is for some strange reason, I don't think it'll hurt anything. The hard drive is H. It should be C. Why that did that, I don't know. Doesn't hurt anything, but let's see. Network. Why don't we have a setup execute? Oh, here we go. Do we want the, no, we just want the driver. Set the right one. Yeah, whatever. We get the video driver installed next. I have no idea what this has for onboard video. And might even try that out first just to see. You know, sometimes the onboard video is not half bad. You know, if you have reasonable expectations. So we'll see. I'll tell you what, it went up to a pretty high resolution. It's definitely over 1,000. See how high we went here. Oh boy, she went way up. Well, we don't need it that high. Let's get her back down to something more reasonable. There, this is alright. We don't need it that stinking high. Well, what's this got for video memory anyway? Oh, wow! That's actually quite impressive for onboard video. 128 megabytes. That's actually pretty decent. Huh. I think we got all the drivers we need. Yeah. Well. What do you think? Think it's time for a game? Let's see, what's this require? Windows Vista XP-ME, yep, we have that. 1 gigahertz or faster. RAM. Yeah, we got enough RAM, we got 512. You know what, I could crank that up a little bit. Right now we only got a gig of RAM in it. I know I could get at least 2 in it. I'm going to shut down, I'm going to get a little more RAM in there. These 2 sticks should do quite nicely, I think. There's 2 more slots open, so I'm just going to add these to them 2 other slots. Yeah, no problems there. We got her up to 2 gigabytes. You know, I think it's time to try a game. And that CD-ROM is still sticking a little bit. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to take that apart and take a look at it. I'm thinking it just needs a new belt. Let's see how it handles the game. Once we get it installed here. I gotta go find a serial number, hold on. Well, let's see how this goes. A little slow loading, but I guess that's to be expected for a mechanical hard drive. But the game is definitely working. Come on. Huh, okay, he's pregnant. Where'd he go? Come back here. No, not him. This guy. Where's the pregnant guy? I mean, it's definitely working. You know, I never could understand why people knock these cheap little PCs down so much. I mean, yeah, it's no Ferrari or BMW, but I mean, hey, if you don't have a car, I mean, it'll definitely get the job done. I mean, if it's something that is the only thing you could afford back in the day, you know, I mean, it definitely will do the job. So, and this one costed me nothing either. So, what the heck, you know, if you got something like this laying up in the attic or the closet, or somebody's just throwing it out, what the heck, snatch it up and see if it works. It usually doesn't take much to get them going. Usually just a hard drive and a little RAM, and away we go. Even for cleaning, I don't even think I'm going to bother taking this all apart, because it's actually pretty decent clean. I think I'm just going to wipe it down with some Pledge multi-surface. And I see there's a little bit of a leftover sticky gooey thing here, so I'm just going to see if that'll clean off a little bit. But overall, it's pretty decent. I think just give it a good wipe down and I'm going to call it good. I don't think there's anything else wrong with it. Well, I'm going to call that good. A success. It shined right up pretty good. I mean, it's got a couple little nicks here and there, like there's a little paint chip missing, and you know, a little nick here and there, but overall I'd say it shined up pretty good. So, I mean, what the heck, you know? Nothing to brag about, but again, if you put a SSD drive in instead of a mechanical drive, I would have, but I'm out of stock right now. A mechanical drive. Could definitely up the RAM some more if you put a total of 4 gigabytes in it, which I think is the max. Yeah, it would be the max because it's a 32-bit operating system yet. So yeah, you take those 5 12 gigabyte sticks out and put 4 1 gigabyte sticks in there. You'd have a total of 4 gigs. That would help a little bit. And if that ain't quite enough, you're a little bit limited on the video cards. I think the highest you can go with a PCI video card is 512. I know I got a 256 in here somewhere. Hold on, let me look here. Yeah, like I say again, if you did need a little help with some games, you can upgrade the video a little bit. This here is a Nvidia, what the heck is it here? I think it's a 5500. And that's got 256 megabytes of video RAM. So that, I mean, that's not half bad. That'll take you all the way up into the 2010s, no problem, I think. Then what's this one? I think this is the same thing. Oh, this is a 4000. And this has got 128. Well, actually, this wouldn't be much better than what the built-in video is. So, yeah, the only thing I could do, because built-in video, it's got 128 already. I was quite surprised. I thought maybe it'd have 64 or 32, but the onboard video on that motherboard kind of surprised me. So, yeah, I mean, it's not half bad. So, yeah, and another one that's got some potential. Like I say, it'll work as long as you got some reasonable expectations. You know, it'll play most games from the, I would say, mid-2000s, anywhere from 2001 to maybe up to 2009. I'd say anything after 2010, it might be pushing its limits a little bit. But even then, some of the other games, if you don't mind turning down the graphics a little bit, playing with some settings, it'll do it. So, not too shabby. So, there we go, another one fixed.